Hello everyone, my name's Cherie. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing another junk journaling process video, but this is going to be the challenge that I put together for myself and for anyone that wants to follow along. So basically I just picked 6 items, 5 and then plus a bonus, so it's 6, that I want to use to create a spread. So I'm trying to basically choose things that some of the stuff I would normally use, but also other things that I don't use on a regular basis. So here I'm just showing you what I'm using, and today it's going to be, the 6 things are a piece of wallpaper, a book illustration, a piece of vintage ephemera, so any vintage ephemera, word stickers, lined paper, and a paper punched element. And typically I don't reach for my paper punches, which is something I would like to do more often. So I've just included that one in the list today. So I just went through and I showed you my what I'm using for my wallpaper. I pulled out some lined papers, some word stickers, and my paper punches, and now I'm going to run through these book illustration pages that I have. These were ones that I had pulled out to use in a project or to put in my book, and they were just in a pile on my desk. So I just grabbed that pile that I had sitting on my desk, and I'm just looking through to pick out ones that I may like to use. I've got the pile to the right are ones that I'm thinking I may want to put in my journal, which are these here. I really like this Edith Holden page a lot. I like that it said June, and but I don't end up using it. I probably will soon though. So right now I'm just going to go through and try to find a page that I may want to work in. And I also have 2 little Instax photos that were taken at my niece's birthday. She turned 8 and she wanted the Instax camera for her birthday, and I was able to get 2 of the little photos that were taken on that day, and that was back in May. So I'm just kind of fiddling around with this page, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to use it. And I really like this little tree page and the one of this little girl here. I like the little girl because the photos are of my nieces, and I have one of my youngest daughter as well. So I decided on this tree page, and I'm gonna go ahead. It's just a tree, a page about trees, a poem, and it was from a Childcraft book, if I'm not mistaken. One of the, maybe this from the 60s or later. It wasn't like a really vintage, like from the 50s or something like that. But I still like it a lot. So, and then I had this roll of wallpaper, and if you don't have any authentic wallpaper, just use some that's printed, because I will use printed wallpaper in my journal all the time anyways. But for today I decided to go with this piece here, which I absolutely love. And I like the colors in that wallpaper, and I liked how it brought out I just felt like it went with the green in that illustration there. I thought it meshed well together. And then that little scrap there obviously was from the top of that page, and I decided to use it too. Even though, you know, the photos are not taken by a lighthouse or anything like that, that was fine with me, just because I like the look of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it, even though it doesn't really pertain to the story, which a lot of the times when I do journaling spreads, you know, a lot of the pieces don't really match the story, and then sometimes they do match really well. And I just love that little illustration of that little girl. She's just so darn cute. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those pieces down. So I've got some wallpaper and I've got my book illustrations done. And then my that little postcard of the bunny rabbits up there, that is actually what I was going to use for my vintage piece of ephemera. And now I'm just kind of looking through some lined papers. And I like this little scrap of ledger here. And I'm going to go ahead and put some word stickers on these photos. And that one says together and the other one says memories. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim down that ledger to fit on the page. I wasn't really planning on doing a whole bunch of journaling, just doing a little bit of journaling, because I wasn't really telling, like, I wasn't really journaling about the birthday necessarily. That wasn't my intention for the spread. I just really liked the photos, so I just, you know, I'm just using the photos on this spread basically. And then I had that linen there sitting on my desk as well. I have a pile of a bunch of random stuff that has not been put away from projects, from, you know, working on in my journal or working on books or whatever it may be. So I just have this, it's getting really big, this big pile of stuff that I need to either try to use or put it back. So I was just kind of digging through that pile as well, and I found that little linen and that little piece of trim, printed trim on the bottom there, which I believe is from Molly's Mantle. And I also found this little vintage playing card too, so that's another piece of vintage ephemera that I'm going to use. The one with the orange roses on it. And I'm really liking the way that all of this is coming together. I like that there's pops of orange all throughout the spread. So I'm going to go ahead and just staple that little card on there just as a decorative piece. And I was kind of thinking maybe it would be a pocket, but I just ended up using it as a decorative piece. So I'm basically working on over, you know, 4 pages, and this page here got pretty filled up, and then this page I just kind of keep it simple. So I pulled out the scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it down and then use one of my punches on it. And that one is a Martha Stewart punch, and I'm not sure what it's called, but it's got a really pretty, like, you know, it's a doily border punch. And then I was thinking I could just use that postcard and just use it as basically a journaling card. So I go ahead and I staple that other photo of my daughter onto the postcard. And then I'm going to put this little die cut of lined paper on the outside of that pocket. And then I use this other piece from a children's dictionary illustration. So I've essentially got 4 book illustrations going on. And these are just some stickers, and that one says, they're from my mind's eye, they're pretty old. It says the best of friends. And I'm just going to basically put these all around the page. And then that one says so happy together. So I used a bunch of different word stickers from different collections, different manufacturers, just whatever I felt went, I used. And then that little phrase says delightful and so sweet. And then that one says, "What a wonderful day." And then I think that says, "Ticket to my heart." And I went ahead and used, if you can tell, I went to the back of my journal because a lot of the times the back side of my journal doesn't really get a lot of attention like the front side does. So that's one of the reasons why I chose the back side, just to do a nice little spread in the back. A lot of times I will put greeting cards that we receive in the mail for different occasions in the back of my journal. And then these are some little Tim Holtz phrase stickers, and it says, "Practice kindness, own your dreams, and follow your heart." And then I think that one says, "My darling." So I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of journaling about the day and about the girls. And on that lined paper, I just wrote a few treasured memories. And I also tucked in a little piece of paper, a quote that my son had said about my daughter when she was itty bitty, that I've had in my drawer forever. I just wanted to just to save it because it was really sweet. So here are some close-ups. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're following along if you feel like it and getting inspired to use your journal. These little prompts just kind of help you break it open and just start working in it. And thank you everyone for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and I hope that everybody has a blessed day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.